Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Borderlands. So we need to find a fast travel location. I guess probably the one way we might be able to find a fast travel location is if we just walk right through here. If there's no fast travel on this side of the wall, there's a decent chance there's one on this side. So maybe not. Where are we? Well, that being wrong, we do have the circle of slaughter. I guess we could go do. So I ended last recording saying doing the circle of slaughter right now is probably pointless because it's not the right. I'm barely one level above what they want. That being said, it is here. You're not gonna open the door apparently until these guys are dead. Who's shooting at me? There we go. So it felt for a second like they opened the door for me, but really they just opened the door so these psychos could attack me. And the side effect of that is I get to make my way through here. There we go. So we're fighting a level 22 badass bruiser here. And I have a full number of bullets. It seems. Talk to this guy, turn it in. First quest is level 26 for round 1. And this will be interesting. I'm going in with this gun, this, and this, which is probably wrong. So, let's take our nasty Gemini. We haven't used that in a while. And try that for a while. So the only difference here between the one we did before is it's going to be psychos. Now this gun is very possibly not the gun I want. It's slower than the SMG by far. The flaming psychos here. Just wait here. I'm gonna have to lean heavily into using my phase walking ability. These guys are gonna take a lot more cover than the skags we were fighting before. And so we're actually doing some cover-based firing here that is not really what we've been doing in this game. And bullets. Bullets, bullets, bullets. And we just now get all these upgrades on how many bullets we can have. And there's a couple I can't afford. Darn it. So let's see if we can sell some things. How about we sell this and this. And we have one that does 42, 35, 40, 42. We have one that's 58. And what we have equipped right now is 63, so sell that. Acid Wave, 379 times 73 versus this, which is 325 times 73. So I could equip this and go for that. So I don't really need the healing shield anymore, so we'll get rid of that. I don't like the way this repeater works because it's a really slow firing rate, but I don't want this rusty repeater, certainly. The surplus rifle is 40 times 10 compared to 91 times 10. Let's see. 220 on the vicious sniper. I think that it was the sniper I was using. Blast revolver is 89 times 1 versus the manjack is 91 times 3.7. So we'll get rid of that. 66 times 3.9. 14% fire rate, but still don't want it. I need to equip the SMG. 74 times 91 times 10 versus 74 times 10. 51 times 13. 50 times 6. So that. And do I have enough now to get both of these? No, I still am short enough to get that upgrade. Let's see. Put in this gun and put in this shield, and now we only have 3 extra guns we're holding on to. And see, my health won't heal anymore right now by itself because I don't have a healing shield, but that's fine. Because I can now phase walk and heal myself and use that to my advantage. So these guys are going to come down and then we've got some rocket launcher guys. Oh, this is no good. Alright, so now I've got to kill one of these guys quickly, or I'm not going to get a second phase. So And they're still coming. So I left this guy specifically here so I could get a second wind off of him. There we go. And see, I just want to heal right now. And I can't pick up anything while I'm doing all this, so that too is an issue. Increase our ability to heal by 4%. Next time it will be 6%. Alright. And are we fully prepared for round 3? Because that one was kind of tough. I know I made it look easy, but if they throw some stronger level characters at me, I could see dying. 21% shield capacity, 2 resilience skills. Let's see if that's something we really would want. Compare that. And nope. That's much worse. Explosive rain versus that. This is a 514 versus 280 times 3.
The Crimson Lance got nothing on my weapons.
Buy more bullets. We'll sell this, sell this. I think this terrible shotgun is 40 times 9 versus the blister, which was 33 times 9 and 3 times faster, so we can get rid of that. We've got nothing over here. Really? I could almost see myself buying a health kit. They're not really that expensive. So we'll just get a couple of them here. And then we'll feel just how this is going to work.
Who needs a real doctor when you got my machines in there scary needles?
Let's see. Instant health up to the max. I could have also just phase walked for free there, but no. Decided to do it this way. So ideally, I guess I want to be kind of close to these guys. Where is he? Is he the only guy? So over here we'll start using the health kit. What is electrocuting these guys? I wonder. That's the interesting thing, is that it's not me, really. Like, well, if it is me, I'm not doing it intentionally. And let's go ahead and use another health kit. It's like people are hitting me with these things. Let's do this. So, and somehow I was doing extra damage to myself there and I died. So, I don't feel like that was too bad of a run, though. Honestly. 1, 2, 3, 4 this time. And we'll run in here and see who we can take on. And see, I don't even think it starts over, so it's not even a case of that's not gonna work. Nope, that rocket launcher messed me up there.
Someone always has the upper hand. Make sure it's you.
This is certainly an opportunity to run out of money doing this. Of course, I could just wait too. Nothing really forcing me to do this right now. Alright, now I need to run and find somebody else that I can kill. At the very least, maybe. Alright. Let's see. Med kit. See, I don't feel like I'm certain that this is exactly what... Walk by this guy, and then come back to this guy, and he's a level 30. So I need him right in the face. Where's our other guy? And see, that's a round done. But there's somebody else coming. I think. If not, then this is just on a timer. Or there's some... Because it's awfully quiet here. Don't tell me the game glitched up. Yeah, there's nobody here. I think the game is trying to be helpful and has somehow accidentally not realized that I'm in here. And see, this is a problem because this means there's no way out of the fight. Like, there's no way to escape. Where are you, game? See, and my thought is it's this. That would be my guess. Is that the character was supposed to come down through that, since there's nothing else up except for that one. And there's nobody here. And nobody's trying to hide from me. Somebody would have shot something at me at this point. How long have we been going? 40 minutes? And see, I think we're gonna, what we're gonna have to do is just exit, save and exit, and then we'll start back here because there's literally nothing else to do. Like the music has stopped now. The enemies have stopped. Alright. So, exit. All progress will be saved, it says. Great. Single player, back onto it. And let's see where it decides to put me. I imagine further away than you would think. Well, yes, that is much further away than I would have thought. That is much, much further away than I would have thought. And let's see, do we have any quests? Not right now. This does go to show that just exiting and coming back is a great way to cheat. Where is this? So, that Crazy Earl's scrapyard. We're looking for middle of nowhere is where we are right now. West comes east. We're looking for west comes west. At the underpass, I believe. Hopefully that's the right location. The other thing I guess I could have done is I could have saved and exited and then gone to New Haven. Nope, that's not the right one. So we'll just, instead of walking, we'll go to the out yard. And if I'm guessing right, all those lights that are flashing up in the sky, all those spotlights, are the fight. So it shouldn't be too much extra work. I probably will have to change my gun on me too. Probably have to shoot my way through this again. Nope. Don't even have to do that. Of course, the problem that could occur is we might very well still be bugged. And if that's the case, that's gonna kind of suck. Buy a couple more of that. This is either gonna start right at the beginning again, or maybe it won't. Start here. I'm very well might be running into a problem of killing things before they walk out of the area. If that's the case, then that would kind of suck, because I probably have already done that again. Here we go. Trying to carefully look at my health and see if this is gonna work. It should work. Use another healing kit. And see, just now, this is kind of the first time she's ever expressed anything but like total ease in killing enemies. So, and still, I guess that's what she's doing. But it's surprised that it was easy to kill them, instead of being like, that was too easy. Let's go ahead and use another health pack. Let's just stay here. Just trying to recharge my shield. I think I'm probably close to being done. About to die. No, don't die. Second wind. Where's the other guy? Here he is. Hopefully this guy can't hit me fast enough. I think I got him. Where is he? I needed one more health kit. And here we go. So now I'm gambling everything on killing this guy before he kills me. Got it. Just right up in the faces of these enemies with a semi-automatic machine gun. And let's see. Probably not too much more to pick up, even. We have something here we can't pick up until we're out of it. And things, seems like everything else has been collected. And so that gets turned in. And I'm leveled up again. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So we can see we still kind of need to heal. So now I'm up to 6%. Next time it's going to be 7%. Honestly though, I think I would prefer to either get shield regeneration versus cooldown going forward. And also I would like to start thinking about increasing my critical hit damage. Like, I'm not taking such an insignificant amount of damage when I do take damage that I think resistance is actually going to work, particularly after phase walking. So, like, resilience makes some sense, but not really. Adding corrosive damage to my melee attacks, no. Spark increases the chance of causing elemental effects with elemental weapons. That kind of makes sense. Killing enemy causes you to deal fire damage to nearby enemies and make your shots not always cost ammo for a few seconds. Interesting idea, but it's going to be such a low percentage that I don't feel like it. So next time I level up, I think I want to do this, and then I want to start doing Slayer. Critical hit damage in general. Increases the accuracy and bullet damages after killing somebody, or longer melee damage and phase walk duration. And that's going to be the next question I'll have to ask is, do I want longer phase walk when I do need to heal? And eventually I just want to increase bullet damage and velocity. And I think that's kind of it. Just try to be more general. So I'm doing slightly a different build than what I've done before. Get all these bullets full, and I imagine that we can afford this, and everything else is, I think, well, I can't afford it, so I don't know. Let's see. 66 bouncing Betty versus 66 rubberized versus 66 incendiary contact. And what we have right now is 63 corrosive. Let's just change it for the fun of it, if nothing else. And then, so, we'll sell that. This machine gun is 100 times 6 with 34 damage versus 91 times 10. So, this is not worth it, not better. Low accuracy, 31 times 11 shotgun. 45 times 11. We'll get rid of this terrible scatter gun. 52 times 10 versus 91 times 10. we keep getting these combat rifles. This sniper is the one we were using. This is 37 times 8.3. We were shooting 51 times 13. This rocket launcher is a devastating rocket launcher. We're not going to keep it. Get rid of that. 50 times 10. 51 times 13. It's so weird that all of a sudden things change. 92 times 10 versus 91 times 10, which tells me actually we are going to keep the glorious havoc. So new gun equipped. 60 times 8.3. 50. Sell that one. 107 times 72. Nope, not gonna get rid of that one. 50 times 8.3. And when you get one good weapon, you keep it for ridiculously long amounts of time. Just seems to work that way. And this has always been how I've seen it, and it might come down to just a misunderstanding in general of perhaps what the guns do. So I can now afford upgrades, I just can't use any of them. So we equip this one and equip this weapon, and like the rocket launcher in particular is a difficult one to keep equipped. We have the blisters 33 times 9, 1.3, 60 times 12, 1.6. So I need to get rid of the blister and then need to get rid of the scatter gun. There we go. 60 times 12, 1.6, 45 times 11, sell that. 33 times 9. There we go. So we have one repeater, one revolver, one shotgun, one rocket launcher, one SMG, one assault rifle, and one sniper. And what do you have to sell? 63 shock longbow and soldier mods. And I used all of the health up. Let's see, let's compare that to what we have equipped. That would be a much slower but bigger shield. I don't think I want to do that though. I think I want that fast recharge. If anything, maybe I want a faster recharge than what I have. So that quest is done. And we have these. This is really the only quest we can do because we can't do any of these. And we can't do any of these. Not until we talk to Helena, which... It's odd that the game pushed us into meeting Earl and then pushed us into
Let's get out of here.
Getting these quests and then not being able to finish the quests. It's a weird thing. As weird as it is that there isn't just a fast travel section in where I was, instead of having to grab a car, drive to this place, and go to New Haven. Now, this is the reason why I have to talk to her, I think, is because of a storyline reason and nothing else, where she's going to give us the ability to lower some bridges. And by ability, I mean she's gonna tell some claptraps to lower the bridges for us.
Well, looks like you fit right in. This vault discovery could be the very thing we need to revitalize this settlement.
So,
watch your back out there.
we did that quest. And I suppose I should run and just double check that there's nothing from Marcus or Ned. We can also look at everything that's for sale from some of these gun stores, since we're probably going to be pretty full. We have one in progress.
First aid kit. You won't regret it.
Right about now, the SMG mod would be an interesting one.
Is there something you need? I think we're done here.
You can see he's got a dead guy sitting back here. So it doesn't seem like there's anything to do, which is odd because I know there's several things to do in these areas, and in fact several areas that didn't really have that much to them at all. Let's see. Rust Commons East is where we're going. So the middle of nowhere is probably as good as any, if not the only, Rust Commons East location to transport to anyways. Everything's good here. Just looking at everything available for purchase. 76 times 3 versus this, which is 63 times 2 with a higher firing range. See, even what he's got to sell is still not as good as what I have. We have this caustic revolver, which we just got, which is 57 times 1.3 versus this, which is 91 times 3.7. So sell that. The only thing, if it turns out that the pathways aren't done, I'd already collected that journal, so that's why the audio didn't play.
Hi there.
It's so weird, this guy just hiding his mouth, but not even specifically hiding his mouth. That's oddly more than likely why this entire planet is mostly a dust planet, desert, is just because Gearbox didn't want to animate their mouths, or they just knew they didn't have the capability, the skill to animate mouths. And if that's the case, then that's kind of a very silly reason to make a decision, but I think it might be. I wouldn't be surprised if it was that they eventually figured it out, so I can't really complain that much. Borderlands 2 doesn't suffer from anything like that.
All this stuff.
Let's see. Well, 19 XP. Oh, I see. So I could have gotten to this area before. It was under the bridge. So there are a couple things I can do.
This is where the cars live. Get you one.
So we're kind of in this central location that doesn't really even seem to have anybody in it, at it right now. I got light healing. I hear monsters, but here's some bullets just stuck in the ground. So we're looking for the shotgun parts. There's one over there, and see, I gotta miss their head and hit their behind.
I'm really good at this.
And there's one over there. Got it there. Come on. And so up here to this. There we go. Quest done. So the other one is way in different places, but I can do all of these if I just, I think, go this direction. So I think I can get the Crom, and by getting the Crom, I think I can get the rest of this. So, Crom's Valley. I'm gonna have to take out this turret. Fortunately, my long-range sniper actually has enough damage to do the job. Otherwise, this would be rather annoying. If you didn't have a sniper right here, yeah, forget about it. I suppose that is an argument you could make, is there is very much a possibility that you could not have caught on at early on to the gameplay ideas of Borderlands, that you should have one of each type of gun. That it never really told you that. It never really said you definitely should at least hold on to one. So imagine you decided to just have 3 repeaters. Like, I don't know why you would have 3 repeaters. You'd almost certainly have run out of repeater bullets. But you could probably play 2 guns like that. I could see a player saying, I'm going to have 2 repeaters, one that's slower and does more damage, and one that is faster and does less damage. And then, say, maybe 2 snipers where one of them is fast sniper, like what I have now with mini bullets, and one of them is a more deadly but 3-shot or 1-shot sniper. And then you might, if you imagine trying to do a competition like that, fights that I was doing like that, I don't think that would have worked as well. Maybe there would have been a tutorial message that would have popped up, but I bet there isn't if you weren't holding on to any gun like that. Like, I'm still not holding on to any Eridan weapons because the game hasn't given any of those, and frankly, kind of won't. Like, maybe at the very end of the game. You can see this is taking longer than I would have liked. But at least I'm totally safe, and these guys can't even begin to hit me. But it does certainly tell me that I only want to deal with this area once. This would be borderline boring. I guess they certainly set themselves up for some bad reviews if this game had been bad. Like, Borderlands is borderline would be the headline article. So they really had to go outside of it. And they could have certainly mitigated that risk more by just calling it the Outer Lands or Outer Worlds. Maybe the phrase Outer Worlds is copyrighted, but the Wild Lands, like any of those phrases, I bet you could have used. And the idea of border doesn't even really make sense in this game that much. Yeah. We're just gonna keep firing until it's gone. And I think we're good in this area, hopefully. Now, if I'm going to really use this weapon, I kind of need... I need to aim at their feet. Come on. Ooh, that reload speed is low. Look at that reload speed. they're handing me repeaters, which is probably a good guess to assume that they assume that I'm not playing repeaters for a reason, which is kind of true. Interesting, he wasn't on fire until he saw me. So here was one of the guys. See, in this rocket launcher, even though it's a triple helix, even though it's doing a decent fire rate, like just unloading on this guy, I'm still going through way more rockets than you should. So this is a gun I'm looking forward to replacing. And proficiency doesn't go up by the number of shots you take, it's the number of kills, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, there was a bunch of things that were dropped. Let's pick these up, come down here. This. Looking all around here just for completionist's sake, which I don't need to do, really. If I ran through a couple of these areas, it wouldn't matter. I suppose everybody's Borderlands experience is going to be, for the most part, exactly the same. The quests are in the same place, the things they want you to do are in the same place. The things that are going to change are the randomized guns you pick up and how you play. Like, and certainly if you picked a different character, you would be playing a different way. Arguably a slower way than even this, and this feels pretty slow at times. Brock, or Brick, whatever his name is, I think it's Brick, in particular, is all about running up and punching things, so that would be an amazingly different experience. Mailbox. Like, there's really gonna be mail on Pandora. I guess at one time they had a mail system. So what if I go into Crom's Valley and it turns out to be too difficult for me? Hopefully there's a fast travel. Hopefully we never have to get through this section again. Because that would be kind of annoying. And see, I don't even really know why you would have a thing there. Did we find everything in this area? I think so. And the only thing that is left is the Rust Commons journal thing. So we'll get that done later. So Crom's Canyon, if I recall, is another one of these. Well, it's not quite an exact straight line. It's 2 exact straight lines. And I think they're going to want us, through quest reasons, to do both of them. Like, Earl needs food badly is over there. The next piece I cannot see. So I'm kind of thinking, and then 2 wrongs make a right. So that's almost certainly the next thing we're going to do. We have a ridiculous amount of quests that we've done up to this point. So if this was 2/3 of the way done with the game, I could certainly understand it, but that would certainly also mean that a lot of what I'm remembering of Borderlands 1 is actually parts of Borderlands 2, which wouldn't be a big surprise, because now that I kind of think about it, I can't separate it in my mind at all. Very little do I know for a fact happened in Borderlands 2. As far as our challenges, we're still making progress towards killing humans, killing critical strikes. There's a lot more of that we need. Kill 25 enemies in succession with no more than 7 seconds between each kill. I've gotten up to 15 doing that. Action skill kills very few, but that will eventually start happening more and more. Let's see. Killing enemies in general, we'll still have a lot of progress to that. It wouldn't be surprising if the game kept these quests and then in the second game you work towards these goals, but I don't think that's how it works. I think all the quests start over when you start the second run through. I've almost earned, I think, enough money to get 5,000 XP there, and when we get up to the maximum amount, that we'll get 20,000 XP. No, nothing on the duel challenge because we don't have anybody to duel with. Still a lot of skags we need to kill. Still a lot of spider ants we need to kill. Still a lot of racks we need to kill. The racks in particular are very rare in the game. Still a lot of guardians need to kill. We've only seen 3 in the entire game, and it was in one specific area, part of a quest, and that's a little unsurprising. I don't even know why that quest was there. It hints at something that doesn't happen for hours and hours. You will have totally forgotten that quest unless you remember it on purpose by the time you see another guardian, and then you'll just be like, what's that guardian thing? And because you won't even remember you'd already faced them. Still need to kill a lot more with pistols. Still need to kill a lot more with shotguns. Still need to kill a lot more with launchers. I wish I had a fast launcher that I could use a lot of. Fast and deadly. Need to kill a lot more with SMGs. A lot more with sniper rifles. A lot more with melee things. Kill a lot more using incendiary attacks. And shock attacks. And corrosive attacks. And explosive attacks. And with the vehicles. Just a lot more work all together. We almost have opened 1,000 lootable objects. We're halfway to opening 100 chests. Sell 400 items. Yeah, we'll get that done pretty fast. That's another 5,000 XP. It looks like probably in the next couple hours we'll get at least 10,000 more XP. Buy more items. Probably could see that happen. I suppose at a certain level, if you've got nothing else to do, if you're right towards the end of the game, or you've played through all the game and done all the DLC, at that point you could just buy a bunch of guns and sell a bunch of guns and buy a bunch of guns back and sell a bunch of guns if you just have a ridiculously high amount of money. I am nowhere close. I'm like 1/4 of the way from shooting 100,000 times, and that would give me 28 XP. The airborne vehicle hang time thing, we haven't accomplished any of that so far. So we'll have to figure something out with that. A lot of audio things there too. It's weird. It almost feels like we might be closer to the end of the game than I think. Maybe we are. I don't know. That's weird. Let's see. If we get 5,000 more XP, it's not even gonna level us up one though. We need so much more XP to go up even one more level. I wouldn't be surprised if we do only get up to level 35. The weapon proficiency for my pistol, I haven't shot it in a long time, hasn't greatly increased. My shotgun proficiency and my launcher proficiency are at 3, so they both have gone up a level. And the Aridin weapon proficiency, we haven't even seen that. You know what, this might actually be some weird DLC though, so that might also be why we haven't seen it yet. Hadn't even thought about that. We've got a bunch of garbage we need to sort through, and we have one more point I want to put into this, and then I want to start moving up further in different ways. At a certain level it might make sense to put 1 point in everything, but also at a certain level it might just make sense to use a hack save file and get the maximum points in everything, in all of them, beyond what you can actually, I think, accomplish in the game. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.